Now, if you look at high-performing teams, there are really three components that lead to high-performing teams. Number one, most important, is the people. People are operating at their capacity, in other words, their current mindset or skill set. The second part is the culture. And we will either have a culture by design or we will have a culture by default. And if the culture is not in place, we could develop a great strategy, but the culture will eat strategy for breakfast. And so you really want to make sure that you've got the people and that you're training the people. And that's why EGIA is so good. They have so many resources for the training of people. And that will lead into creating that culture by design, which sets us up perfectly to have a clear strategy that aligns the organization or the team from top to bottom. You can tell when the team is in sync, right? You can also tell when they're out of sync. There's a feeling to it. You know, there's excitement on the sidelines, or conversely, there's a lot of frustration, in sync, out of sync. And that's the exact same thing with our teams and our organizations, is we want to be in sync. Now, I was talking with the University of Minnesota rowing coach and a friend of hers, and what she commented was that the difference between first place and middle of the pack is whether or not the oars hit the water within 0.03 seconds of each other. So you look at this picture on the screen and you imagine 0.03 seconds, how close and in sync those teams are rowing together if they're going to finish anywhere better than middle of the pack. And the same idea applies to our teams, is we want people's oars hitting the water together, in sync, rowing together. And that's where there's a power that comes from that. And that's exactly what having a clear strategy will help an organization do. Pre-week planning is one of the most important individual habits that we have if we want to increase productivity, prioritize our time, and do what matters most. At the organizational and team level, it's the same idea with that weekly meeting. That's the form of pre-week planning as a team. You're sitting down early in the week, you're looking at your key initiatives. Hey, what's on our radar this week? What's on our radar for the coming week? And what are the other things that matter most that we need to coordinate on this week? That's why it's so important to have that meeting, because otherwise, remember that center of gravity, we're getting 2 or 3 layers away from that. That message can get distorted so quickly and so easily.